Howdy people, hopefully you can see and hear everything okay. I think my streaming server just crashed, so I apologize. This one is not brought to you in glorious 4K quality at 60 frames per second. Instead, we're at a very lowly 1080p today. But I want to thank everyone for tuning in. It looks like we are up and running. I'm just gonna double check something on my settings here. Alright, so we are working. Abdullah's here, Gertej, Best Times Were Born, John Nicholson, Morphane, Daniel, Rosieland, Jennifer Gala, Bora, I Like to Walk, Aiden Thompson McGuire, Kevin Hawthorne. Yes, the very, very nice water fountain is on. Very, very nice. That's a lame way to describe it. That's me. Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm just twice already. And then you just go to the meeting.
Do you want to be on it again? That's good. Well, nice to meet you again. Cheers. Some friendly viewers just came by. This water's so loud, you can probably barely hear me. Hey, Alex. Welcome to the stream. Medano is here. I've got that paranoid feeling I left something behind, but I just checked where I was sitting. And all is well. Let's get away from loud water sounds for a moment. Quartz set. They're recording a movie there. But there I am. Thank you again for tuning in. And again, I apologize. I set the stream, and then when I started it, my streaming server must have crashed because it lasted all of 13 seconds. So I took that stream down, and then I kind of panicked to get this one up and running. But at least we're working, right? Dave says, accept my payment for premium YouTube, or you'll have to contact the ombudsman. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights is here. But we are in the St. Lawrence neighborhood. I don't know for how long we'll be here. Probably just a few more minutes. I'm gonna make my way west a little bit. Gertej knows or knew I was going live. Well, I just did a video along King. I might try to get that one up for tomorrow. It's a little bit topical. It's regarding the streetcar closure. Can you show us U of T in Mississauga, please? What's that show that they filmed there? But I probably will not be going all the way out there. David is here. David, the man with the radio voice. That's funny, that guy's walkie-talkie. I think he's security. Vivian Johnson is here. It said there's a guy down by the water fountain filming. Maybe they're talking about me. Well, I don't care. You're in a public spot. I can film all I want. But it is a beautiful day. I was thinking of just staying at home. I have a video I need to make. I committed to making a video last night on the Johnny Stumble stream. So I was like, maybe I'll make that today, but it's such a nice day, and I wanted to cover the King streetcar closure. It's going to be cooling down a bit, but it's a nice patio day around now. There's Cantino Mercado. This is Wellington Street. I don't really have a plan or know where we're going. I just know we're live, and there are 224 of you so far coming along with me. Thank you so much. And if you just found your way to the channel, welcome. I go live 3-4 times a week on this channel, once over on the other channel, Johnny Stumbles. If you want to be notified when I'm live, do hit the bell. You have to be subscribed to join into the chats. People are friendly. Just keep in mind there are some simple rules to follow down in the description of this video. That's a look north up Yonge Street. We're just going to go west a little bit. Maybe we'll go waltz through David Pecaut Square. We'll probably be live for about an hour and a half or so. This is Wellington Street. Jenny says hello. Chris Mills is here. And Jason Lynch. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Harjot is here. Harjot called in the other night. I was taking viewer calls. Johnny B checking in. So this is west on Wellington Street West. Just want to check one thing with the with this software. I can't set which microphone I want to use. Well, it sounds decent enough, but normally I pipe things through the bottom microphone on the iPhone, the one I have covered up with the wind muff. No such luxury with this janky software, but it's working. Torno Journer is here. Someone asking what gimbal am I using? The InstaFlow 2 Pro, the same one from my equipment I use video. This is Bay Street coming up. If you're wondering where all the people are, Wellington isn't the busiest corridor through the financial district. It's probably the least busy of all the major streets that run through it. There's an Impact Kitchen. Lisa saying hi. Lisa snapped one of the photos I'm using in the thumbnail from yesterday's video. That video is already, I think, over 16,000 views. So it's possible a few of you found your way to the channel from that video. Mohit Sharma, $10. Pick up a few beers on your way home. You are a legend. Thank you, Mohit, so much for the couple of... I do have to stop and get groceries at the Metro, and there is an LCBO next door. I've got a fridge that likes to be stocked with some cold ones. So thank you so much for the support and the super chat. If you want to see more of Lisa Snaps, there's a link, I think, or I tagged her IG name in the description of that video. I offered to pay her a very generous amount for the picture, and she said, nope, just link my Instagram. True story. And I tried to get up here for doors open, but I failed. It's the TD Center. Chris Mill says nothing beats a cold one on a warm day. Well, I had a number of cold ones Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'll pick up a few today, but I'm probably not going to have any. Fun with Addie and Ozzy says tall buildings, indeed. It was good talking to you last night on the Stumble Sunday Night live stream. Jeanette, $30 just because Hi Johnny and Pals will be lurking. Jeanette, thank you so much. Holy shitballs. Thank you for the 30 USD. Hope you have a wonderful week. And for Skepa 2, Adam Zero, $2. Thank you as well. There's a name I don't think I could pronounce again unless I or could even remember or say again, but thank you so much. There's the South Tower. I believe this one is an imposter. I don't think this is a Mies van der Rohe, but correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, this one does look legit. I do not know what the hell I'm talking about, as per usual. Yeah, Gertej said hasta la vista when it was time to sign off. Good stuff, Gertej. Let me wipe my camera lens off. I don't know if it's just software that makes it look a little different. Yeah, Gertej, you could have said, I'll be back. Jenny asks, have I talked to Action Kid lately? Yeah, I was chatting with him today. Bit cooler walking through the shadows of the Financial District canyons. It won't be long till we're on the other side. West Coast Walker is here. Greetings, Robert. Please say again that long name, 4 Skepa 2 Adam 0. Did I do it? Do I win a prize? Front Street just south of here. Krista says downtown Toronto smells so much better in the summer than Manhattan. I haven't been to Manhattan in about 4 years, but I don't think I would disagree with you. Jenny asking when's my next traveling. Well, I may or may not have booked a placeholder trip in July. I have a cancelable hotel. Where that is, I won't say. I am waiting on a passport renewal that should be coming the first week of July. It'll be mailed to me the last week of June. But if you saw this morning's video, you would know that. Greetings, Michael Mills. Carl Roth, that was the video I just made. I came downtown to check out King Street. And it's such a nice day, it would be a shame not to get a couple of videos out of it, or at least a live stream, so that's what we're doing. As we're at University Avenue, just north of here is St. Andrew, where the streetcars are not roaming. Sanjay in Kingston is here, one of the OG mods. Greetings, Sanjay in Kingston. The dish has already booked flights to Peru. Awesome. Lisa says someone got hacked. Who got hacked? Someone at your work? There's Beer Town. I love this kind of open style restaurant and bar. It's a great kind of design for our climate. Oh, there's a Moxie's over there. Why go home to the suburbs when the suburbs can come to you downtown? There's a Milestones just north of here. There's Jack Astor's all over. Get your fix of suburbia. But we have left the financial district. We'll cut through David Pecaut Square, because why not, in a moment. Ian is surprised Moxie's is still alive. A lot of those restaurants are quite similar. Moxie's, Milestones. There's another one just like it, I'm forgetting. More than just one more like it. Hey, there's a bunch of runners coming. Yeah, let's go this way. Marcus says, go Jays, go. They just swept the lowly A's. I don't even think they count as a major league team anymore. They don't have a major league stadium. What do I think of Earl's? I've been there a few times. I don't really have much to say about it. My favorite chain place in the financial district is the Keg on York Street. I'm gonna go spend 60, 70 bucks on a meal. I'd rather do it at the Keg than one of those other chains. Hey, Riley's Fish and Steak. Moving in right over there, Michelin Guide recommended dining. Well, Michelin Guide in another city. That's cool. It's nice to see Wellington Street getting some love. Chris says the A's are moving to Vegas. Well, is that stadium, have they broken ground on it yet? Well, we're in David Pecaut Square, home of a fantastically ugly civic building. Did I ever go to Gretzky's when it was around? Yeah, I went a few times. Oh, I wish I was able to get my 4K setup working. This would look so much nicer. There's the home of the Toronto Symphony Orchestra. Pecaut Walk just hit the like button. He says, join him. Thank you, Alex. Peter Bradfield, $4.99. Okay, the unsubscribing and resubscribing to Johnny Strides did work for the chat, but I really need to go to lurk mode for early med appointment tomorrow. Well, I'm glad it worked, Peter. I'm glad you figured out your issue. And thank you so much for the $4.99. I hope you have an excellent rest later tonight. Thank you, Peter. Peter called in to my live stream last night. Most Sunday nights at 8 p.m. I stream on Johnny Stumbles. And usually at the end of the stream, we open it up for viewer calls. There's the CN Tower glistening off an RBC tower. And the Ritz-Carlton. What's crazy is the Ritz-Carlton's on the right, the RBC Tower is on the left, but for the longest time, that squat little building in the middle, Simcoe Place, dominated the skyline in this area. You would see the CN Tower, and then you would see that. And there would be nothing nearly as tall until you went over into the financial district. But here in 2025, what was once a giant is now a dwarf. That is Simcoe Place. It's just crazy. I always used to love looking at that building. It's just crazy how taller buildings change your perception of what's around it. And conversely, when there are no tall buildings, buildings seem less impressive, like the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. I think there could be more massing around it. That's the financial district off in the distance. Many of those tall buildings are blocked by buildings in the foreground. But here is King Street, where they have closed it. They turned off the streetcar taps. It was supposed to close in July, but with a 145-year-old water main needing replacement at King and Church, they closed it off a little early. I started my video walking along King Street today at University, but I probably could have gone a little bit more west. Oopsie doopsie. There's a Frank Gehry pair of skyscrapers going up. Jennifer Gallis says, Forma started construction. That's such a nice building. Nice might be an understatement. That's going to be one of the most exciting projects to watch go up in the city in quite a while. Nice day on the patio, listening to some loud banging. Some replacement buses. Maybe I'll just fire Ken off a message. He's got a premiere set for 7:10. I'll let him know. One sec. .504, 508, 303, and 304. This is a transit priority corridor between Bathurst and Jarvis. U2 free. U2 Day Toronto. Wasn't Bono just on the Joe Rogan show talking a whole lot of shit about what the orange lunatic has been doing? Well, it's just a couple of out-of-touch rich dudes having a conversation with one another. Says I'd have to pay her to go to a U2 thing. There's the Hey Lucy. Jennifer Gala says that Joe Rogan show has hilarious comments. Yeah, that's probably going to be a gold mine of comments. Same, but different. That is a popular saying in Thailand. You'll often hear Thai vendors say that. You'll ask them for something, they won't have it, but they'll offer you something else, and you'll be like, this isn't what I asked for. And they'll be like, same, but different. And you'll be like, oh, thanks. It's very helpful. But that just kind of made its way into the English vernacular in Thailand. That's kind of a play on that, I guess, the name of that restaurant. There's a really good Thai restaurant around the corner from here called Khao Road. Named after a street I've recorded a few times and done a few live streams from. Chris Mills saw U2 38 years ago at Exhibition Stadium. There's the Hyatt Regency. That was a Holiday Inn Express at one point. If you're gonna put the name Hyatt on a building, at least give the thing a good cleaning. It looks grimy. That does not look worthy of the Hyatt name. Jennifer says the Hotel Sutton Place is nice. Yeah, that's just up here, or that's right here on the left. There used to be a Sutton Place up on Bay Street, just south of, or around Bay and Wellesley. They've reappeared right here on the left. As we continue along King West on a Monday. Matt says the Hyatt has a pool for good for summer visits. Yeah, I don't doubt some of the facilities are nice. It's just the building itself could use a good power washing. Tested asks, is John Jones retiring? He should. I think that's kind of the joke, but he's also now the longest standing heavyweight in UFC history with the least amount of defenses. I think he should be absolutely stripped. He's holding Tom Aspinall back. Marge, $5 late fees. Thank you, Marge. Thank you for owing up to your lateness. We're seeing a streetcar get diverted up at Spadina. Why is this car swinging so wide? This is Spadina coming up. That restaurant I talked about. Let's go that way. See some out of service streetcars. But if you're ever hankering for some excellent Thai food, this place has you covered, Kowson Road. And what's really cool is if they don't have a table, you can go to the bar on the second floor, get yourself a drink, and then when your table's ready, you can bring that drink down to the table with you. Clifford says, "What's up, Toronto?" From Syracuse. What's up, Clifford? I don't think I've ever been to Syracuse. I've been to Albany. I don't seem to have any recollection of Syracuse. There's a 511 Bathurst 2B. Mike says, Euro Nation, you got to do more shows from the studio he went live from this past Saturday. Drop me a DM, Euro Nation, next time you're doing a Toronto event, like the ones at Revival. And again, thanks for tuning in. If you're wondering where the 4K action is, something happened to my streaming server. So we are in good old 1080 today. Adam M says, what's my favorite restaurant in Chinatown? It's a good question. Probably Pho Hung, if I'm to be honest. Swa Tao, if you mean Chinese food. Canton chili. My default answer would have been Roll Sand, but they've apparently been kind of shady with their tipping practices lately. Lisa says, I'm close to Graffiti Alley. Yes, but sadly I'm on the wrong side of the street. That's a bit of a hindrance. Ben. This says my answer is a hindrance. Next live stream will probably be of the e-bike variety. Maybe on Wednesday. Not really sure. Greetings, Cam. Hey, peoples to you. We are going north up Spadina now. I'm just going to keep moving and assume we didn't get copyrighted there. Lambo. Either somebody with more money than they know what to do with, or someone who makes very poor financial decisions. Hopefully, in his case, it's the first one. Pecaut. This is Hey Johnny, greetings. I'm sure I mispronounced your name. Mandy says, glad my passport or process was painless. Yeah, it was actually quite excellent. They were extremely nice and friendly in there and well organized. We're so used to government bureaucracy being nothing but a clusterfuck, especially if you've ever been to a Service Ontario. And it was an almost pleasant experience, I would say. But it's one I won't have to do for 10 more years. As we find ourselves going north up Spadina. Cafe Rang Banh Mi. There's one of the hottest tickets to get to, Alouette. Or rather, Aloe is. That's Alouette, the lower cost version. I'm a fan of Alouette Go. In fact, maybe I'll pick up Alouette Go tonight on my way home. This is Spadina and Queen. Cam says, I hope they don't make me take a new passport photo. You like yours from 10 years ago? Oh, you will have to take a new one. And they're gonna make it black and white. Apparently that's part of the security features of the new passports. And what's funny, I don't know if this lady was trying to flatter me or what, but she asked me if the passport I was renewing was my first ever. I just looked at her like, what? I think that was like my 6th or 7th passport. She was like, you're not in your 40s. I was like, we're gonna have this conversation. Kako, I don't know how to pronounce your name. A bunch of O's, then a K, then an O, then a K. Okay. You made a comment about Dodge Caravans being rare a few weeks ago, and ever since I've seen many. There we go. If you're on the look for something, you'll probably see a lot of it. Thank you for the super chat and the support. I just don't see so many of those anymore. But remember when there was a period in the 90s when the Dodge Caravan was by far the most popular vehicle in the country. And I think that carried on through like the early to mid 2000s. Honda Civics were up there. Chevy Cavaliers and Sunfires were up there, but Dodge Caravan was the car a lot of Canadian families bought. I just love these views of the tower. And I low-key kind of like the yellow from the Ontario line construction. Had a Cavalier and so did your friend. Did anyone have its mechanical twin, the Sunfire? exactly the same car, but sportier somehow. Andy says it's that new body wash, shampoo, conditioner I'm using. Aw, that poor doggy had a cone on his head. Charlie had to wear one of those for a while. 5-in-1. You were looking at hair that was washed with 5-in-1. I ran out of shampoo and I noticed my body wash was actually shampoo and conditioner as well. So I thought, why the hell not just use that? And it works every bit as good. So I'm not going to buy proper shampoo for a while. If you're a guest at my house, you'll just have to deal with it. But we've almost lost the CN Tower view. Gertej, Charlie is doing well. Oh, the dog with the cone is crossing the street. Imagine if the government had allowed the Spadina Expressway to be built, this whole neighborhood wouldn't exist. One of the alignments was to come right through Chinatown and skirt right alongside Casa Loma. Sadly, a lot of American cities converted themselves into car sewers doing projects just like it. I was watching Not Just Bikes Go live today, and he was riding around a suburb in Amsterdam, talking about how there isn't a single suburb in all of North America that can even compare to where he was. And even though it sounded a little smug, it was absolutely spot on. And that would have been the second time the downtown Chinatown was displaced. So who knows if it would have been able to migrate somewhere else. It was originally over where New City Hall is, but that was all expropriated to make way for Nathan Phillips Square. That was also back when North American cities were trying to squash ethnic neighborhoods. But fortunately, Chinatown relocated over to this area. And then shortly after that, a second Chinatown sprouted up over at Broadview and Girard. So ultimately, I think the city gained. Bill Chow is here. Greetings, Bill. This is Grange Avenue, Alexandra Park, the neighborhood over on the left. Is there a path to happiness? Try Stoic philosophy. I found happiness by reading a utility post. It said, I think nobody ever, but who am I to judge? This food delivery guy looks like some kind of modern RoboCop. Says I'm a good historian. There's a really popular dim sum place on the top floor of Dragon City Mall. as we're at Spadina. You know what? I walked up the west side of Spadina in my video I posted this morning, so let's not do that. Let's go a different way. Jacques showing us his work. So now we're gonna head north, probably northeast. We'll try not to live stream the same route I just posted in the video this morning. Just as that Rexall used to be a concert hall, and before that it was a burlesque house for a period of time. Interesting history to that building. So we're now going up the east side of Spadina. And this building on the right going up has blocked a pretty nice southern view of the CN Tower from the other side of the street. Oh, this was a mistake. I didn't want to get stuck so close to a bunch of people, but there's no car coming.
Like there is a lot, I will say. So I'm just like, well, to my manager,
Mike's is amazing. You're just heading on Spadina. There's Kensington Market over there. I was in Kensington earlier today. There's a dude walking this way with a speaker blasting music. It's kind of annoying if he was.
When they caught me robbing his store, hold it steady right there while I hit it.
Oh, that guy. He's got some pipes. He can sing. Alright, I think what we'll do is we'll find our way over to maybe College Station. Let's see, it is Cecil Street. bike says speed walker alert. Yeah, if someone blows by me, they are definitely speed walking. When I'm not recording, I almost never get passed by people unless they're running. Greetings, Megan. Guess we can stop and look at a store or two. Raiwa, a Japanese themed store. Don't go down Moss Park. I've been through Moss Park in a number of videos. There's a look south down Spadina. It's mostly just a bunch of people trying to get by, live their life. Never felt unsafe in that area, even camera in hand. Oh, this guy's recording something. Raw meat. Oh, I'm sorry. My pettiness still prevents me from ever going to the Korean grill house. Someone who signed out a city bike is probably going to get a big bill because I'm pretty sure that guy didn't sign that bike out. Don't sue me, guy, for accusing you of something on the stream. It's merely a guess. But we've made it to college. There's a 506 Carlton. Oh, that's a neat looking sun. Vlog CA is here, or Vlog Cup. Huge thanks everyone for tuning in on this rather lovely Monday late afternoon, early evening, whatever you want to call it. Beautiful weather today. A lot of videos coming up in the city with nice weather. It'll be a nice change. And that is such a cool sight to see. I really liked the Panera Bread that was just north of Yonge and Dundas. I often grab a coffee and a snack there and go sit up on the second floor. It was sad when they closed. They're making a comeback. Hopefully Canadian-owned franchises, but still it's good to see companies investing in the city and showing up. Jellybean says Panera Bread Bowls, here you come. I never had those. Tahini's. That's a chain that's popped up everywhere. You know what? Should I go to IKEA for dinner? I'm thinking, what do I want for dinner? It's about that time. I might go to IKEA to scoop something up. So I might be in there anyways. Buy food at IKEA, do you get 5 times Amex points? This is how I'm guiding my decisions these days. I don't think so. I think it has to be specifically a food place. These are the kind of thoughts I have. It's amazing how that works since I switched to Amex. I've changed one of the local cafes I go to because they have it and the other one doesn't. And I feel bad, but one gives me 5 times points, the other one I just get 1 times point. I went to Gyubi, Japanese all-you-can-eat grill, and I realized they didn't have it. I'm thinking, am I gonna go back there? That actually makes a pretty big difference. First world problems, I guess.
I think so. And I'm like, girl.
Oh, I saw a super chat. We're at Beverly Street. Jenny Kritzkamp, $5, paying Marge late fees in order to avoid thin ice for being late yourself. Jenny, you are on massive thin ice. I may have watched one of Henry's streams and saw that you were moonlighting as a mod over there. So you are two-timing me, Jenny. Just kidding. Thank you so much for the support. Good to see you. But you can't escape that thin ice. There's College Street. Christopher says you visited Toronto a lot. Now you love going to Swiss Chalet on Yonge Street. Which Swiss Chalet on Yonge Street? The one just south of Yonge and Gerrard is gone. There's still one up at Yonge and St. Clair. Lisa says my lens is dirty. Oh, my front lens? Probably. I think the front lens on this iPhone just has some shit trapped underneath the Bill Chow says IKEA has cheap hot dogs, but not ideal for dinner. Swedish meatballs is good. Yeah, I should probably not be eating hot dogs. We'll get something healthy tonight, I guess. Maybe a poke bowl. Still in the process of discovering if my favorite local spots take Amex. If they don't, I'll probably not go there.
They're both in jail, you know, they were.
She's here too. We're going.
Good to see people out in the patio. Someone says, how about a veggie burger? Why not have a real burger? I have a free meal at Alouette Go. I usually get the burger and throw a wedge salad on the side. It is a damn good burger. It's not too unhealthy as a meal. There's a place here on the right, the Smith House. $12 Asiago burger, dine-in only. I was at the Smith House for Halloween, rocking my homemade egg costume. As we get a look south down Pecaut Street. Fat Bastard used to be your go-to burrito place, now it's Chipotle. Yeah, I'm a fan of Chipotle. Their ingredients are ace. Lisa says I should know there's no service now between College and St. Clair. Well, thank you for letting me know. What I'm going to do in that case is finish this stream at College. If there's a real clusterfuck happening on the street, I can make a video out of that. If not, I'll just go to IKEA, buy the thing I need to buy. Let me look up TTC alerts. Line 1, regular service has resumed between St. Clair and College. Shuttle bus, boggy. Hey, the CEO or the TTC got a new CEO. Maybe that'll help spin things around in the right direction. Maybe he'll be more Andy Byford and less the last few guys we had. As 5 trains go by in the other direction, but nothing announces that there's any delay. And then when the train does show up, it is packed and the doors open up and you stand there, and then the doors don't close and the train just sits there for several minutes and everyone is looking at each other. And then the guy beside you decides to dig his elbow into your back. Then eventually an announcement comes on, and it is something that nobody can understand. It's completely incoherent. Then the doors close and the train continues to just sit there. Then eventually you slowly lurch out of the station. That is regular TTC service. And I wish I was exaggerating. Here's look north at Queen's Park. Doesn't matter which way I'm going. There's always multiple trains going by in the other direction before mine. It's just one of those things. Lisa says you found out of a delay on Twitter. Yeah, they are kind of ridiculous like that. I've walked into Eglinton where the sign says everything is running, only to go right through the fare gates and find out everything is not running. Check the TTC service alerts and nothing there. Check Twitter, sure enough, there's something there. Kurtish had Swiss Chalet last week. That's something I could have for dinner. Let me see if they have any specials on their app. Load in the app. There's the Mars building. That was open, I believe, for doors open. Yep, we walked by Queen's Park Station. Oh, this app is taking its sweet time. I don't think Swiss Chalet is in the cards for tonight. But you will save a ton of money if you use the app, and you can order it for pickup or delivery, but pickup's obviously cheaper. Yeah, this app is bugging out. Come on, Swiss Chalet. Do I need to buy a spatula at IKEA? No. It's an idea though. We're at Elizabeth Street. Okay, I'm gonna close this Swiss Chalet app and reopen it. And given the nice weather, I think we're gonna see some more extended streams. I told Ken I would be done by 7:30. So I'm gonna stick to that for this one. But we might go a little longer than I've been doing over the winter and spring. Hey, I got the app to open. Coupons. Look at that. 2 can dine for $20.99. That is a very good deal, but I am one. What do they have for one person? Meal deal. $18.99. Enjoy our famous quarter chicken dinner. I don't know, 20 bucks is a little much. I don't need the drink that goes with it. And I would probably change the fries into a salad. Suddenly I'm less excited about Swiss Chalet. An OPP car. So now, Ontario, you could film anyone is legal. I just want to make sure. Anything you see from public or in public is fair game. I would change the phrasing of that though, filming anyone. I think if someone isn't calling attention to themselves, you shouldn't be setting out to film people. But if they just happen to be in your video, yeah, it's perfectly legal. Or your picture. It would be quite dystopian if it wasn't legal. Imagine a society where the cops could say, hey, you can't film us. People could just go around, tell you to put your camera away. How dystopian would that be? Public is a shared space owned by everybody. Whoa. That was an egregious red light running by that guy in that Toyota Sienna. I mean, that car should have waited for everything. When you're turning left, even if you have a red light, you have the right to sit there and wait for it to be fully clear before you complete your turn. So there is no need for that car to jump ahead and turn. But at the same time, that was a super egregious red light running by that Toyota Sienna. Real Girl says bet cabs. For some reason, I opened up TikTok for the first time in a while, and that Officer Urquhart, she's a Toronto parking enforcement officer, put up a post about a couple of parking enforcement officers that were assaulted. And one of you guys said something along the lines of, no wonder why that happens. One of you guys gave me a ticket. All I was doing was parking on Bloor Street to pick up a customer in my Uber. And she replied like, well, then you should have got a ticket. And all the replies were just scolding that guy. Like, just because you drive an Uber or a taxi doesn't give you the right to park in a bike lane or where nobody else can park. Just the entitlement of, I was picking someone up, I shouldn't get a ticket. As we look up at the Aura skyscraper, and there is IKEA just underneath it. I'm gonna head in there. Devel Costa sounds like he was super entitled. Well, like the rules for thee, but not for me. Now you could cut through here. Oh, it's much nicer than taking the street. We're gonna go over to Gerrard, and then I'll walk to Yonge and Gerrard. Then I shall go into IKEA. You're having the slightest feeling of deja vu. Welcome to my life. Every day is Groundhog Day.
Idiot. They just served you.
Guy just having an interesting self-conversation. Hey, a police car just lit itself up. There you go. There's the Chelsea Hotel. A very hard to beat location. Solid 3.5-star accommodations. But there is IKEA. There's a development notice for this building. I used to really like going to the Elephant and Castle when it was there. That closed down and became a weed shop, which then closed down and I think became another weed shop. Now it's nothing. There's a for lease sign in it, but there's also a redevelopment proposal on the building. This corner is about to get ridiculous. You've got like the 70-plus story building here on the left, Aura. There's a super tall going up there, Concord Sky. There's a very tall building proposed for this street corner. And guess what's going in on that street corner? This is going to be rivaling Yonge and Bloor for the tallest intersection on Yonge Street. Yonge and Eglinton might have an answer for that too, if some of those plans go up, but it'd be pretty crazy to see stuff go up here. But folks, I think it's that time to hang it up. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Again, I apologize for the lower quality stream tonight. My streaming server was a bad boy. Either OBS crashed or the GPU driver crashed. I've got a 3060 that I was going to sell. I'm probably going to put the 3060 into the streaming server. That will be probably more reliable. But anyways, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to be notified when I go live next, make sure you hit the bell. I want to thank our mods for their great work. I want to thank all the people who sent support. You guys were awesome. Thank you so much. I've got some beverages to pick up. And just everyone who tuned in, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and all that fun stuff. Sadly or not sadly, there will be no ending credits tonight. But there's a view of my fogged up front camera. So thank you so much, guys, and I will catch you in the next one. And some of you, I think Ken's going to premiere his video at 7:30. So I'm sure some of you will see each other over there. Thanks, guys. Yoink.